and welcome to the Acacia Ascension channel, Acacias Ascension. My name is Dee and I am the owner of the Acacias Ascension Astral Hotel. So we are going to be finally taking the channel in this direction. So welcome to everyone who is already subscribed. To all of my friends who are going to be visiting, make sure that you do subscribe. And this video is going to be an understanding of how the hotel works, how the subliminals, the guided meditations, and I'm going to have some other fun things on here works, okay? It is currently 8:44. Today is April 13th, 2026, and the 4446 is a really big anchor for quantum shifting and wealth. Okay, so this is going to be a relatively quick video where I'm going to explain to you the vision so that as you're listening, you know the things to look for, the things to write down, jot down. I'm going to highly recommend that you have a dream journal. I personally recommend Google Drive. Go ahead and put April 2026 astrals. Go ahead and put today's day, April 13th, 2026, what you dreamed about last night, and then whatever time you're listening to this, whatever date and time, just as an example, whatever date and time you're listening to this, and say, all right, I am listening to Acacia's Ascension. I am going to pick this video to listen to, of course, as time goes on and I post more videos. I am going to be posting our first video in the Astral Hotel on the new moon in Aries. That seems like the perfect day, and 417 has been coming up a lot. So that will be the first one. It also is a Salvaggio frequency tone as well, 417 hertz. Okay, so another introduction. I'm sorry, I kind of started going off. Okay. My name is Dee Wimley. I am so glad that you found the channel, that you found the field. This channel, I am creating it to sink into the Acacias Ascension morphogenic field, okay? Now, I'm using the term morphogenic field as a living interface that integrates consciousness across the planet, and then you can opt into it by listening to the music, the subliminals, by listening to the guided meditations and other things that I put on this channel, as well as in the other different forms that I have it. So it is Acacias Ascension. It is also Quantum Acacias, which deals more with the dreams and the astrals in a way of interacting and more of wisdom and information. Acacia's Ascension is more of shifting your reality. So it's more internal, but also shaping the external. So those are the differences. But both of these systems are linked to each other. So the concept that I have is that Acacia's Ascension is an astral hotel, which is going to come into physicality as a physical hotel brand and establishing hotels around the planet. Okay. So right now we're building it astrally. And my overall idea with this is that there are a lot of places that are not as spiritually, metaphysically protected. Now, I'm going to have to go into this like on probably my regular channel, Dee Wimley, where I talk about the depth of this concept. But as like a very simple, quick explanation, when you go into the dream world, most people go into the dream world and they don't have a home there. Okay, most of the time we're traveling places, we're dropped here, we're summoned there, we're put this place, and it can be extremely chaotic in that sense. Now, there's some people who may have a home there and might be living parallel and alternate lives. That I feel like is more of a special case. But in general, what I'm doing with the Astral Hotel is a similar concept to an astral temple. It is an interactive safe space that you can go to. And with the hotel, of course, this is a building. So it'll be not just your own personal one, but it will be for many people to come find safety and then expand out. Okay, but also creating a foundation. So this is a multidimensional hotel. It is, of course, going to be in the imagery on this video. And for every video, we'll start it with it, where it is a collection of 3 purple glass pyramids. The capstones are at the top. They are glass. Sometimes you might see where just the center one has the capstone, but it might expand into all 3. But anyways, you'll also see the heart-shaped thing, the heart-shaped, what do you call it? Tree design around the acacias. Sometimes you'll see it is when I do hypnosis. It actually is a heart-shaped path, and the acacia is within this heart-shaped tuft of grass within the paths leading up to the hotel. So sometimes it is in the form of this heart-shaped sculpture with the trees, and then sometimes it's actually the heart-shaped pathway, okay? And then we are, of course, like I said, have the golden acacia, which is a staple symbol. Along with that, we also have Amy. She is a purple zebra guide. Oh, woo! Must be the truth, okay? She is a purple zebra. She has violet and alternating lavender periwinkle stripes. She usually has golden eyes, and she is what we consider to be like an astral, I would say maybe in a certain sense like an astral familiar, but she's much more than that, and there's a whole story, but I don't want to make this too long. But anyways, sometimes Amy will show up. There also is a polar bear, okay? Now, of course, this is a hotel, so we have staff for the morphogenic field itself. And if you start to have like your own guides come in, or you have ancestors, you have your own spiritual team come in, we usually ask them to put on like a volunteer uniform. And then you will be assigned a room at the desk. Now, the first set of elevators that you go into will actually take you to a wing of the hotel, okay? So we have 26 wings. So with the 26 wings, they all touch on different concepts and themes. Like the first one we have is Acacias Ascension Cosmetic and Wellness Wing. So this is going to be for, of course, cosmetics and wellness. We also have Acacias Ascension, like the urgent care health clinic that helps with viruses, bacteria. It helps with overall well-being, mental health. We also are going to have the family and relationship wing that's manifesting a divine partnership, help with the current one. This also will be great for parents, having a really hard time with raising children. You need some order, some structure. That'll be great for that. We also have the traveler suites, which will be astral travel, light body. There's so many different themes that are covered. So the first set of elevators takes you to the wings of the hotel. Then from the wings of the hotel, there will be different community spaces, like, of course, cosmetic and wellness. There'll be a wellness spa, and then you'll also be able to go to a room. Now, the room also has elements that are a part of the acacia field that are already encoded, okay? So every room, for example, has a nightstand and a particular dessert. This dessert connects you into the frequency of luxury, elevation, decadence, and this is healthy. So healthy connections to elevating your life. Every room, of course, has a tub, and the tub connects to cellular regeneration, cleansing, and detoxing. Every room has a bookshelf. This connects to the Akashics, past, present, future, alternate timelines. The sheets have the Acacias symbol on it, as well as the Omega symbol. This connects into our traditional induction method of hypnosis, which connects you to your oversoul. This is where things get very interesting. The Omega symbol connects you also into deeper states. So there is also another layer of the hotel that has to do with deeper brain states. So when you get to Epsilon, where I consider Omega to be is deeper than Delta. So it could be between Delta and Epsilon. I'm not exactly sure. We're still figuring that out through hypnosis. So it connects you into deeper states, which gives you a different experience in the hotel. So there's different layers for everyone. Okay. And then we also have, which is really fun, the Acacia spiral pods. These are very similar, I would say, in concept to like med beds. And this has to do with our belief that the body is completely able to regenerate itself, to go back to pluripotency, and through neurogenesis, will, desire, and the field to differentiate into other cells, to help out in certain places where full regeneration is needed, rejuvenation, as well as the concept that you can also create structures. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer because we have to give a disclaimer. These are energies that we are putting out there. Okay, this does not guarantee anything. These are helping you to expand your mind in different places and then see how your energy in the morphogenic field create results. This is not guaranteed results. This is not in lieu of professional medical advice. Okay. And so the spiral pods also have presets where you can shift to different wings and then deeper into the hotel and other brain states through the pod. Okay. So this is what I wanted to overall give an overview of, so you have an understanding. So the subliminals, they have affirmations underneath them to help you with whatever you are looking for all the things that you are looking for. I do take requests. So how I'm going to be doing the requests is that I will add them on to an existing suite. So this is an all-suite hotel, and I will add them on to a particular suite. So let's say you are interested in, I've seen like quite a few interesting subliminals, like you want to go from brown eyes to green eyes. Then I would put that in some of the emerging suites. So we have the base suites, which they cover more grounded concepts, and then we have emerging suites, which cover more expanded concepts. So this would, of course, be a part of the emerging pods, and I probably would put them in wing A with cosmetics. So I would. This is the same process for custom subliminals as well. So I probably would put in one of the emerging pods and then add in the affirmations for green eyes. Now, the other thing that I want to say, of course, if you're interested in a custom subliminal, Acacias Ascension at gmail.com. If you're interested in a hypnosis session, you're interested in a custom guided meditation, any of those things, Acacias Ascension. Now, along with that, something that is also custom is to add frequencies. So I decided that I am not going to put any frequencies in the initial videos. But if you are someone and you would like to request one of them or some customs that I can put on the channel for everyone, I will put frequencies in there. And I primarily did that because working with subliminals for a period in time and working with frequencies, in my personal experience, okay, in my personal experience, you know, you have to like watch certain things that you say on here, especially like AI was like tripping and stuff like that, okay? In my personal experience, working with frequencies definitely opens up things to physically shift. And that is something that I wouldn't necessarily go into super lightly, okay? So I'm not warning like anyone against frequencies. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, since we are looking to, of course, help out a wide variety of people, and I'm unsure about everyone's kind of thing for, you know, everybody's situation for the Astral Hotel, and what I put on YouTube is going to be no frequencies. Now, the videos that I have before, all of them have frequencies in them. So I'm going to leave my older subliminals on there. And then the very last, the very last thing that I'm going to say, it's 9:00 on the dot. The very last thing I'm going to say, okay, is I was running into certain issues, like utilizing certain like free music, to put it on. And of course, like, you know, I wasn't, necessarily like expecting any type of, you know, revenue or anything like that. Like, I just wanted to put my affirmations into some beats and then post some subliminals, right? And I was running into like issues with copyright with that. So I decided to just start creating my own beats. I literally made my first ever beat, I think on like 2 days ago or something like that, which you will hear in A1 when I post it, okay? So I just figure, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, it's the first one that I ever made. And then there's ocean sounds. So it's not static, because a little bit of it was like, if it's really low, it could sound like static, but it's actually not static. It's ocean sounds and birds. And then I created a little bit of music with Rhodes pianos and stuff like that to go along with it. So anyways, work with me on the music, okay? Because I was like, I have to just figure out how to just start making beats and stuff like that on my own. So that's all the little disclaimer. I am interested, if you are a beat maker, I am definitely interested in information on how to make these beats better, especially if you do use like Florida. No. It is FL, but Fruity Loops is like FL Studio now. If you use that, I would love information on how to make better beats, because obviously I did not go to music engineering school. I don't know anything about music theory. So that's the other little disclaimer. And I am going to continue to make them just so we don't run into issues where I have to take it down or something like that. And blah, 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 blah. All right, my friends. So that is what I wanted to say about the Astral Hotel. If you do see Amy, please make sure that you give her either a gold coin or a gold carrot. That's just a way of saying thank you and appreciation. And of course, all of that comes back to you, tenfold. And I'm going to say this as well. Okay. 903. Okay. I'm going to say this as well. I am not a person that, is opposed to anyone reaching out. So if you have any type of things that you are running into as far as like you've used the subliminals and maybe it's bringing up strange dreams, or maybe there are certain things that are coming up. Of course, I want to say tenderly, I am a busy woman, so I might not be able to get back, and I can have like a quick conversation, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. And then what I'll also say is that if you're interested in like a deeper dive, and then we can particularly put something around you in general, I also do offer mentorship, okay? So also do dream analysis, hypnosis, all of these things. So if you do run into an issue or you have, are having some things going on, you're more than welcome to email me and we will figure it out, okay? But like I said, as the channel gets bigger and more people come, I can't necessarily guarantee that I will always have like 10 to 15 minutes free, but it's worth it to reach out, okay? And that's also if really cool things happen. Like, please send me like your success stories. Obviously, I want to hear that. If you want to just like send me like a voicemail, like, oh my gosh, I was listening and then this happened, comment, email me, please. I would love to hear about it. If you start having like super interesting experiences. Okay, I'll give you an example, okay? And like I said, this is my personal experience. I'm not claiming that the field will do this for you. I'm just telling you what my experience was, okay? So I was using one of the subliminals that I created just particularly for myself, because I like to just make them for myself too. And then I did at the beginning, on the full moon, at the beginning of April, on the 1st, I did a fast for 5 days. And it was supposed to be a 40-day fast, but once I got to like day 5, just emotionally and things like that, I was like, okay, I'll do 40 days, just not consecutively. So actually, tomorrow I'm going to do another 5 days. I'm thinking about today, but I'm not exactly sold on it, but definitely tomorrow I'm going to do another 5 days. Anyway, so I was like, let me fast and listen to my subliminals. Now, I have had this kind of mole situation on the back of my right leg for ever, as long as I can remember. And after the fast on the 7th, I believe, I looked down and the mole shifted. Like, it's like in like where my hairline was. And I know for a fact that it used to be below the hairline on my leg, because I would like start with my razor from that point and go up, but now it's in my hairline. And so anyways, I was like, whoa. Now I'm not totally tripping out about that, because I've had another experience with that back in April 2023 actually. That was very similar, and I was like tripping out with that one. But this one, I'm like, okay, cool. Something is shifting, something is changing. And it's very interesting because it wasn't particularly what I was like expecting. But I'm like, okay, it must be something. And now it's a lot smaller. And so I'm going to keep an eye on it and see like if it totally disappears, or if it, I don't know. I'm not sure the significance of it either, but it did change. So yeah, I just want to give that as an example. So anyways, if you start having strange things like that, you're also welcome to reach out to me. Again, Acacias Ascension at gmail.com. All right, friends, if you have any questions, anything that I didn't cover, Acacias Ascension at gmail.com. Okay. And that's Acacias, multiple Acacias Ascension. It's a grove. So it's the Grove's Ascension. But I just left it as Acacias Ascension. All right, my friends, that is what I have. And I hope that you love the hotel as much as I do. I can't wait to hear your experiences. I can't wait to hear how it's shifted, really stuck patterns, how it helped you to get, sweepstake wins and all different, it's like you don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I just know it's going to be so perfect. Oh, one thing that I forgot. I'm so sorry. Last thing that I forgot. So each door, okay, so if you go into the wing and then you go to your room, okay, so that room, I have just created it where the room itself is your astral temple. So if you don't already have one, then this creates one for you. And then of course that room and everything that you do in that room, you take it with you. Okay, so into other places in the astrals and meditation and things like that. Like that's your room and all the experience that you have in that room. Okay. So like I said, you can also like change it around, but the structure of the hotel stays in the background because it's part of the field and it represents different things. So each one has a scent profile. Okay, so there's certain flowers and smells that come with each room. And then there's also a symbol. So that's a really good way to know, like if you start off in one room and then like, let's say you drift off to sleep and let's say you start smelling the acacias. They have a sweet smell. Let's say you start smelling amaryllis, you start smelling bergamot, cinnamon. That will help you to see which room that you also have visited. So in the description of each video, it'll have the scent and it'll have the symbol. So pay attention to those also when you see them out and about in reality. And even though I didn't put it a part of the original templates of these, I might also put like number combinations as well. So when you see these out and about, know that it is also interacting and interweaving with reality itself as well. Okay? All right, my friends, that's what I have for you guys. I cannot wait for the first one to come out. And yes, if you're interested in custom subliminals, things like that, make sure that you reach out to me at, Acacias Ascension @gmail.com. All right, friends, happy travels. I just wanted to say that ended at 9:11, like 911. And I think that is actually perfect because for me, it was representing like your will, your desire, what you're looking for in life, and the things that you want to happen are the emergent reality. They are significant, they are relevant, and it's time to get what you're looking for now. And then also a Zillow notification popped up that talked about 727 sycamore tree. Now, I've not talked about this, but our sister tree is the sycamore tree, okay? And 727 for me represents truth serum. There's a whole connection to truth serum and things like that. I might talk about it on my channel, either Quantum Acacias or DD Wimley. I think I'm going to actually do Quantum Acacias as Dimensional Dreams podcast on my DD Wimley channel. But anyways, that is a sister tree, the sycamore tree. There's a whole story with the sycamore tree. And then 727 representing truth serum. I also want to say that 727 is also like the mid-universe between 616 and 838 in the Marvel universe. I just wanted to say that too. Okay, and then we're ending it at 9:13. So I just wanted to come in and say that. And yes, happy travels.